Hey everyone, me again, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super simple shaker door for your camper or any other, you know, you can make this for anything really, but today they have been built for Apollo, for the camper, so let's get on with it. To build these, you are going to need some sort of saw, ideally a miter saw to make sure your cutting is straight. You can do it with a hand saw if you want to. A router, you do need a router table, but I'll show you how I've done it, just kind of by my own. If you've only got a hand router, you can do it just using that. I'm going to use a nail gun, but it's not necessary, so if you haven't got a nail gun, don't panic, you don't need a nail gun. And another saw, I'm going to be using the table saw, but again, you can do this with a hand saw and a router. That's all you're really going to need. I'm not going to do it like that because I'm lazy and I'm going to do a few extra bits, but hand saw and a router, and a tape measure, and a pen or a pencil. A pocket hole jig as well. I'm going to be using a pocket hole jig. If you don't have a pocket hole jig, it's something that I recommend you get. Just makes sticking stuff together so much easier. So yeah, get yourself a pocket hole jig. If not, you're gonna have to get creative screwing these together. Because yeah. So I decided to go with, I'm gonna show you the first attempt. So this one was the prototype. Trying to keep it easy, cost down, simple, yada yada, using two different layers of 9mm ply, basically a 9mm ply back and then strips of 9mm ply to make the shaker style. I found that because of the depth, it wasn't very easy to router on the inside, you couldn't do a round over, and the overall finish was going to be really hard to get a good finish on because the edges of the ply and everything. So in the end, we went with 20mm by 70mm pine, and then a 6mm ply insert for the back to give you this. So first thing we need to do is cut our two tops, two sides to whatever side you need. So top and bottom piece cut 644mm for those. All my uprights are 182mm because all the cupboards, these are all top cupboards that I'm doing. Obviously your size is going to vary. Now we need to head over to the router. I'll show you what I've done. It's very crude, but it does the job very well. So basically we've took the plate off the router, routed the bench to the size of the plate so it sits in recessed into the ply there. Strap the handle up, so now when you turn it on at the wall, it is on. Fed that through a dust extractor and made a fence. The fence is a piece of pallet wood that I checked was very straight. And then this mark here and this mark here are where I need to stop and start the wood, and I'll explain that a bit better. So to make sure you don't, obviously if you go all the way through, when you're routing on these pieces, you go all the way through, start to finish. On this piece, if you go all the way through, you're gonna be able to see it there, all right? So you wanna stop. So that mark there, basically, that's gonna tell me if I go in there, that is the point where that is gonna leave me the perfect amount to line up with this when it's being routed. our routed pieces over to the pocket hole jig to put some pocket holes in it, believe it or not. So at this point now, you should have 2 long pieces with routing almost to the ends, and 2 short pieces with routing all the way through and pocket holes either side. Time to screw them together. So you can clamp this, but I find it just as easy as long as you've got a really solid flat space, good press onto there. If they're both pushed down hard onto that flat surface, then they're both level at the other side. Push. We've got our shaker door. At this point, I'm going to take a different router, but obviously if you've only got one router, you're going to have to, what I'd suggest is block making these, get all your templates made up, do all the edge routing, then come back with a round over bit. This is personal preference, just to make it look a bit nicer. I'm just going to run a round over all the way around the outside and all the way around the inside, just to make it look a bit neater and tidier. So now you should have this, your shaker frame. That round over just gives it a bit more of a neater finish. So we need to measure from recess to recess, cut a piece of 6mm ply, stick it in. Adding more tools. I'm going to use a jigsaw. It's not required. Let's say any old saw will do, but we just need to round the edges off, because obviously we've got a square cut. So you just need to just slightly round those edges before it'll fit. Time to test fit it. And there we go. But obviously you're going to be sanding this, maybe painting it, you know, whatever you're going to do with it. You might just stain it. But I would strongly recommend, before you final fix it into the frame, that you just rub this down. It's just going to be a lot easier than trying to sand right up to the edge of your frame. So just give that a rub down with a sander. So I've never actually used a nail this small in my nail gun. On my first one, I say you don't need a nail gun. On the first ones, I just put glue around here, put the ply in, and then just sat a few tins of paint on it to hold it overnight. But I've got lots of these doors to make and not enough tins of paint, so I've ordered some tiny 12mm brad nails. They don't seem to sit in my nail gun like my other nails, so we shall see. I just love Eva stick glue, it's dead easy to get out. Fair, this is my fault. Usually I just drill the hole out, which makes it easier, and then if you put a screw in it, it does make life easier. But if you don't, then you end up just clogging it up with crap, because I'm an idiot. Don't do this at home. Oh, look at that. Moment of truth. Boom. Wipe off your excess glue. And that is now ready to paint whatever colour you see fit. One shaker door. I'll show you the backs of the ones that we've started to prep. We're just using a wood filler to fill in the pocket holes, but that's going to be inside, so depends how pedantic you are. You know, you're only going to see it when you lift the cupboard up, but we'll start just wood filler them. And then we're going to give them a coat of paint on the back still, just so it looks nice when the cupboard's open, but that's completely your choice. I think you could even get away with a good varnish on that, and you know, have a nice looking door. Anywho, shaker doors made simple. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. See you in the next one.